Hello students, so welcome to the class 3. Okay, in the 1-2 class, one in the Zoom meet, we have discussed regarding the class 1, but we could not discuss class 2 because of the time short for the Zoom meeting. Then today we'll go for the continuations of the alkyne. Okay, as we have studied in the last video. Okay, so regarding this complex bonding of this alkyne here, and I had told you that this alkynes, okay, so is going to bind with similar to same type of ethene, so CH2 double bond CH2 as in JC salt, but this is going to act as both 2 electron as well as 4 electron donor. Okay, and we had taken some 3 types of bonding here also, so that it is going to bond in this way like this. This is one type of metallocyclopropene type of bonding. Okay, and this is this type of bonding for this alkynes, metallocyclopropene bonding. So this type of bonding is most appropriate when they are acting as a 2 electron donor. This is very much important. Okay, so this is what yesterday we have seen, and example of tungsten I had given you, so where it is going to bond in this way, so you can draw it properly. So like this, okay, like this, something like that. Okay, like this. So these are the three, and these are the field orbitals like this. Okay, so this is what the alkynes we had shown yesterday. Okay, and so these are going to donate as a 2 electrons, 6 7 8 9 10 11 2 3 4 5 6 6 and 12. Okay, so 18 electron, 4 electron donor. Now 4 is a 12, 6 7 8. Now here what happens here, they are going to donate the 4 electron donor. Yes, okay, so what will happen now, 4th is a 12 and 6 7, so it becomes 18 electron like this. Okay, similarly, see now in this complex we have learned that they are going to go for 4 electron donor. If I take it as a 2 electron donor, then it will not satisfy the 18 electron rule, this one. Okay, so this is what and one more example I had taken it, which connected with the carbon monoxide, and remaining thing we have taken it as a phenyl group here. So anything you can put it here. So triple bond CC PH PH, and triple bond CC PH PH like this. Okay, so this also you can see here. So sometime 2 3 4 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 8 9 10 11 12 13 14 electron, it becomes 14 electron this complex. But however, what will happen now, so two of them is going to be acting as a 4 electron here. So what will happen, it will donate 4 electron, it becomes 18 electron. Is it right? And one of the complex, if it also donates another 2 electron, then it becomes 18 20 electrons, something like that. So during this case what happens, it will not match, one of the orbitals of the ligand will not match with the d orbitals of these metals for the overlapping. There will not be a very proper overlapping, and ultimately the complex will be of 18 electron. Okay, so it should not cross, 18 electron will not cross. Okay, either it will act as a 2 electron or 4 electron to satisfy this 18 electron. That is what's very much important in this case. But however, so you can see that the 4 electron alkynes is very rarely, 4 electron alkyne complex what is there is very rare in the usually for the D6 system. Okay, so D6 system ದಲ್ಲಿ ಏನಿರುತ್ತೆ, so what is happening here, there is repulsion between the filled metal. What happens here, there is a repulsion here. Okay, so D6 electrons what will be there, so with these electrons and the pi electrons of the ligand here, so they have the repulsion here. So okay, so because of this repulsion between filled metal d pi orbitals, filled metal d pi orbital, and the second orbital, okay, second alkyne carbon pi bonding pair. Okay, so carbon carbon pi bonding pair. So electron do carbon double bond C bonding pair plus d pi electrons of the metals, they will repel. Okay, there is repulsion. That's why 4 electron is very rare, in which case D6. Okay, so this may they ask for the 2 marks or some competitive examinations. You can keep in this mind. So this is what about the alkyne complexes. So okay, so that's why we completed here both alkene and alkyne structure bonding. Much no as such this is there here, spectroscopic of stretching, nothing, and not much studies there here. Alkenes we have studied more. Okay, and next we'll go for the concept that is allyl complex. Okay, allyl complexes. So three carbon complexes, allyl complexes. Okay, and this allyl group, what is that, they can act as a both they act as actor ligand here. So they act as an actor ligand, and it can bind in both ways. This allele, they can bind in both ways, that is they can bind in one or two ways. Okay, so one or two ways. So this is what important. Okay, now if you see the binding here, so allele compounds I will give it here too. So this is one type of binding. Okay, so or this is one type of binding like this. Okay, and this can be put into resonance now, the same thing. 1 2 3, so it is binding with all the three, and this is binding with the one. So monohapto and trihapto, it is a possibility here, and this can be now done in this way like this, or this can be done in this way like this, like this. Okay, so this is how it can bind. This is how it can bind through here, or it can bind to metal here like this. Okay, so this is all about the resonance structure of this compound here like this. So that's why they can bind in both the way here. Okay, so monohapto, so that is what, so if you see here, so monohapto, so this is what monohapto, we call it as monohapto. Okay, and this we can see that it is going which monohapto means what, it is going to give one electron. So one electron anna adu kodtade, so it is going to give the one electron here. And like methyl group. Okay, so methyl how it is going to donate one electron CH3. So similarly one electron, this also act as a monohapto, and in this case you can see that it is acting as a trihapto, neta 3. Okay, so trihapto is shown by this type of donors, by this type of bonding. So this can be shown in this way. If I go for the structure psi1, because 3 carbon is there, psi1 psi2 psi3, so I can show in this way, psi1 psi2 psi3 like this. Okay, so bonding molecular orbitals you can see here. So this is like this, then here you can show 1 psi2 psi1, and this is psi3, which is the most anti bonding. Okay, so they are having two nodes. So this is having two nodes, this is having single node, and this is having no nodes. Okay, so the perfect binding is this one. This is a little bit no highest occupied non this one, and this is lowest occupied, so there is no electrons here. Okay, so this is how, but they are very quite uncomfortable binding here. So psi3, because of the two nodes present here. Okay, so if I show this the structure of this 3 here, let me put the structure of here. Okay, so this is what they will ask in the examination, so you should be very careful for the structures. I will go for here psi1 psi2 and psi3. So these are the molecular orbitals, I can put it here. Okay, so psi1 means what, bonding, very perfectly there. So here minus minus minus, this is plus plus and plus, all of the same. So wave system dali same irutte. So this is what the same here. So this comes to be psi1, and very simple which type of bonding, and this is very perfect for the metal bonding. Which type of bonding? So I will take it as a plus here. Okay, so this plus and this plus, this plus, this plus. Okay, so d sigma orbital. So d sigma metal orbital will easily bind with these three orbital plus plus plus, and they form the bond like this psi1, like this. This is suitable bond of the metal, d sigma orbital. Okay, this is what you have to keep in the mind. If I take the axis in this way, okay, I will put the axis in this way. This I will take as the x-axis, this I will take as z-axis, and this I will take it as a y-axis. So if I take this axis and if I take this orbital psi1, so the best comfortable d sigma orbital will be this one, which is going to bind with these three molecular orbital of this allele complex here. Okay, and you can see that they are going to fit here. Now if you go for the psi2 here, psi2 also I will take it here. So this is one, I will take it as one node here, and this is one. You know that this node minus, and you take it as a plus here. So that's what one node is formed here, and here as usual plus, and here minus. Okay, now here what will happen, plus minus is there. So which is suitable, you have to see here depending on this metal orbital. So the perfect suitable orbital if I take of metal is here. So this is what I will take, yz orbital. Okay, so this is plus to plus, minus to minus. So here which is that orbital, d pi yz orbital, xz xy or yz orbital. Okay, so xz means it will be having the in the plane, it is not going to be exactly correlating with these orbitals, but yz definitely is going to correlate with respect to this type of graphical this one coordinates. Okay, so this is going to be suitably bind this side to orbital. Okay, so like the d pi yz orbital of the metal is going to bind with this, and this is having the one single node. Now coming to the next one, so definitely you can see here, so this is having a very big like this node is there, and you can see that it's having the two nodes now like this. Okay, so one nodes means what now here? If I take it as a plus here, it will come minus. If minus is there, here it will plus. So remaining thing can put it plus to minus, minus to plus, plus to minus, like this. Now if you see the bonding of metal orbitals, so somewhat very tedious. Where two nodes are there, unfavorable bonding will be there here, and obviously if you so see that, yes, very rarely you can see a d pi xz type of bonding, somewhat very like this term. Okay, so this is your plus and this is your minus, this is my, okay, such type of bonding. Okay, dyz, dxz, okay, dx and z out of plane, like this is out of plane. Okay, so it comes something like that, like this and like this, something like this it comes. So this is plus. So very rare, very uncomfortable type of bonding we can see, because one is out of plane and one is xz. So this is what a dxz type of bonding is going to overlap with this, which is very uncomfortable. Okay, so like the most is what the psi1 and psi2 type of bonding is going to be held. But if you see the structure here, so if you see ch, okay, ch group, and here also c, and this is what your ch2, no, here. So I will take it here h here, and here is a h. Okay, so if you take this, it is a plane like this. Okay, so IR spectroscopy or NMR spectroscopy is helping in this, knowing this proton here. So this is named as a AA here in this compound allyl group radical. So A means what? It is coming, it is going away from here. Metal is there, so this is going to bind with the metal, whole thing, and this is away from the metal, like this. A means what? Anti. Okay, hydrogen away from the metal. So that is, these hydrogens will be away from the metal. That we call it as a anti-hydrogen. Okay, this is called, A means what? Anti-hydrogen, anti-hydrogen. So this is away from the metal, and this is called yes, yes, that is towards the, I can say, towards the metal. So yes means what? Syn hydrogen. This is called as a syn hydrogen. Okay, so they are placed towards the metal. So like this, these hydrogens are placed towards the metal, and this hydrogen are placed away from the metal. So this is how during you can see the bonding mode, the role of hydrogen protons will be there when this allyl group is radical is going to bond with this metal in this way. Okay, and as I said, the psi3 model, the psi3 model is there. This is very the orbitals what is there here, the frontier orbitals are very less importance here, because the number of modes in this is more, two modes is there. And as the nodes increases, you know that the molecular orbital of the free ligand becomes less stable. So as the number of nodes is very much important. So, okay, so if it increases, what will happen? The molecular orbital, the stability, the free ligand become less stable, the molecular orbital of the free ligands, this is what very much important, and it becomes less stable, and that's why we cannot see this type of bonding very frequently. So very higher energy bonding we can see it in here. And as you know, anti-hydrogen and syn hydrogen here, as I showed it here, anti-hydrogen and syn hydrogen. Okay, so this is how they move away and towards the away from the metal as towards the metal here. This is very much important here. And why it happens? It happens only to improve the overlapping with the metal orbitals. Okay, this happens only to improve the overlapping with the central metal atom here. And this type of if you see for this neta 3, okay, so neta 3 type of allyl group. Okay, so they often show exchange of the syn. So this type of show exchange of, oftenly in the neta 3 you can see the exchange of syn and anti. Okay, both we can see in neta 3 you can see the exchange of the syn and anti. Okay, substituents with the help of proton NMR, H1 NMR. So how we can notify this in neta 3? In neta 1 it's okay, but in neta 3 there is frequently change in the exchange of, that's what we fluxional we saw, in later we'll learn on this. So very frequently exchange of syn and anti hydrogens we can see, and that will be detected by the proton NMR. Okay, so this is what about the allyl complex structure and bonding. So last we'll go for the synthesis. In the synthesis, the first we can mention for the allyl complexes is from the allyl compound nucleophilic attack. Okay, from the nucleophilic attack we can take it. So best example we can take it as CH2 double bond CH2. Okay, so this is allyl compound and having the tin SN Me3 trimethyl tin. Okay, so this is what if you take and if you treat this with MnCO5 pentacarbonyl manganese having Br, so nucleophilic attack, no, so we have to create a nucleophile here. So nucleophilic attack, when we create here and we heat it or reflux it, okay, you reflux it. So manganese, that pentacarbonyl manganese bromide, and you take this allyl group with tin Me3 and reflux it. So you are going to end up with this beautiful allyl complex. That is what your nita3. Okay, so you take it as a nita3 CH2 CH CH2 MnCO4. This is what. Okay, nita3 CH2 CH CH2 CH2 CH CH2 Mn CO4 Mn CO4. Okay, so this is what, and this will be here is carbonyl is there, this will be excluded with the bromide. Okay, one carbonyl will be excluded with the bromide. So this is what about the nucleophilic attack is going to take place here. Okay, so nucleophile, this is bromide is negative, so it is going to be changed here. I think this is what the nucleophilic attack takes place here. Okay, this here like this. Okay, okay, so this is what is going to attack here, and this is going to be excluded. Okay, this is going to be excluded, and you are going ending up with this compound, okay, which is in 3 trihepto form. Okay, so as I said here, so it is going to bind in this like this. So this is what we are going to observe in this trihepto. So this is there, and MnCO4. So metal is there here, manganese Mn is there, so Mn you can write it here, and you can show it as a like this CO4 1 2 3 4. So this is your compound, this one. Okay, how you got with this. Okay, so this is how one of the synthesis you can show. Similarly for electrophilic attack also. So as we have shown for this nucleophilic attack, so you can show for the electrophilic attack. So same thing here. So electrophilic attacks. So in electrophilic attack, what we will take, again same thing, we will take CH2 double bond CH2 Cl will take here. So electrophilic attack. No, now as we had taken in the previous example Br in that side for nucleophilic attack. So for electrophilic attack, what we have to take? We have to take here. Okay, because it will take its electron and go away, so making a positive charge here. So electrophilic attack will happen, and one compound we can take it as a MnCO5, same thing, minus. Okay, there we have taken Br plus, it will be electrophilic attack. So here we will take it as a electrophilic attack, so we will take it minus. So this is what going to attack now here, and if we take C here, so what we are going to get nita1. So this is monohepto we are going to get here, that is CH2 double bond CH2 MnCO5. So this is what we are going to form. Okay, CH2 double bond CH2 MnCO5. This is what we are going to get, and when you heat this compound, so you are going to get nita3 again. So this is quite this one. Nita1 monohepto is going to change with trihepto, having CH2 double bond CH2. Okay, having MnCO4 times. This is what MnCO4 times. So one of the carbonyl 5 is there, so one of the carbonyl minus CO will be out when heating it here, and we are going to get and this will change from monohepto to trihepto, and this compound allyl compound we are going to see here. So this is how in today's video we have learned regarding the allyl radical, very important. Okay, this one. So allyl radical CH2 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 CH CH2 compound minus radical, it will be in the form of radical, and resonance we have seen, and it can act as a monohepto as well as trihepto. Then we have learned regarding the molecular orbital of this, and which is the best suitable metal orbital which can overlap with this. So this we studied. Followed by the syn and anti-hydrogens, and how it can be identified reshuffling by the proton NMR, and this is what the much here for the spectroscopic study for this compound, and followed by the synthesis. Okay, so here we complete from the unit 1, that is alkenes, alkynes and allyls. So this is very important, we have completed in these 3 videos. Okay, in which this is very much important, and somewhat you keep in the very briefly you have note of these 2 things, which is not much asked in the examination point of view, but for the competitive examinations may come. It's not so much important, these 2, but this is very much important maximally. Okay, so this is what very much important, these 2 is okay. In the next video we'll go for the dienes. That is your 4 carbon. So 2 carbon over, then double bond, triple bond over, then 3 carbon over. Now we'll go for dienes, that is your 4 carbon, that is cyclobutadiene, butadiene. Okay, thank you.